Okay, welcome everyone to another episode of the Intellectual Saviors of Wrestling with your hosts, the Master of the Brain Damage,
Martin.
and the one and only Sam H. And this is Raw review from 3rd of October, building up to their next pay-per-view, which I believe is Hell in a Cell.
Yes, and try not to put a slight dig in it so much, but let's hope it's better than what No Mercy is going to be.
More on that to come.
Unfortunately, for the second, maybe third week in a row, we open up the show with the US champion, Roman Reigns.
Definitely done it a couple of times now.
Yeah, he just come out, started almost teasing his heel guy stuff again, just saying, "I'm the guy," and all this rubbish.
Yeah, great.
That we heard after WrestleMania.
Oh, God.
And then, much to our surprise, we had Lana come out and confront Roman.
Yeah. Strange one, but they do it with these husband and wife things occasionally.
Yeah, and then she just done all this stupid tirade of, "Shut up, you're stupid, shut up, you don't know what you're talking about. Blah, 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 blah." And then Rusev tried to get a cheap shot in on him.
Yeah, and this ended in like a big old brawl ringside and all over. Went into the crowd.
Yeah.
And didn't Rusev kick him over a barrier?
Yes, he did, and I believe he took out a security guard in the process as well.
Another security guard. So, yeah, Rusev tried leaving with the US title.
And then Roman hit him with a Superman punch out of nowhere.
Yeah. And Roman said apparently the only way this feud is going to end, like ever really needed it, it's going to be in Hell in a Cell. He's going to go and talk to Mick Foley and see if he can get it agreed.
So we'll wait and see what Mick says. Yeah. Then moving on, we had the first of two cruiserweight matches. Now, I'm not sure, I know they didn't really say it, but I was sort of on the understanding that this was a title match.
No, normal one-on-one.
But no, we try not to get too much into this, but we had mini Cena.
Mini Cena?
Yes, they're slowly bloody building him up as a mini Cena. He bloody in the Cruiserweight Classic from the semi-finals, all the way up to him defending the X Division title. I think he kicked out of 3 finishes in them 3 or 4 matches and powered way out of at least 2 or 3 submission finishes. Not to mention a few other things, but yay, our Cruiserweight champion, TJ Perkins.
TJ Mega Man.
And he's facing off against Brian Kendrick.
The man with the plan.
He certainly brought the plan with him this week.
Yeah, some dirty tactics from Brian Kendrick in this match.
Yeah, didn't he even trap his fingers in the bit of metal that connects the turnbuckle to the metal pole behind it?
Yep, yes he did. I think he even bit him a couple of times.
I think you're right there. This match was all right. Unfortunately, I think so far with the Cruiserweight title, they're being a bit predictable and limiting the wrestlers that they're having on television. We've sort of like roughly got a group of 6 wrestlers and sort of being kept to that group that are on telly so far.
Yeah, I imagine there's more to come. A lot of them still have dates to finish up.
I hope so. Because don't get me wrong, most of these guys are pretty great wrestlers, but it's going to get stale after a while, and there's only so many times we can watch Brian Kendrick versus TJ Perkins.
Yeah, well, I can't see this being a long-term one.
No.
But no, Brian Kendrick won the match with, well, at first I think he raked him in the eye,
Yes, he did.
and he caught him in what's now being referred to as the captain's hook.
Yes, although his actual finisher, sliced bread number 2, that doesn't seem to actually do an awful lot these days, because I think that's the second or third time TJ Perkins has kicked out of it.
Yeah, and I think a couple of people kicked out of it on the Cruiserweight Classic.
Yeah. So yeah, that was that match. Not terrible, but didn't exactly set the world alight. But
I've seen better.
yeah. So yeah, Brian Kendrick won, and I suppose maybe that'll lead to another title rematch at Hell in a Cell, maybe.
Yeah, probably.
Oh jeez, and here's where it all starts going downhill. We had the return of the Crush match. No, not Nia Jax.
Oh, that's good.
We had Braun Strowman, and he was facing off against Chase Silver.
Jobber.
Yeah, now it's been brought to my attention, and I can't help but agree. How can they keep this whole thing going with Braun Strowman? And he's this great big monster that everybody's got to fear. He's got the Superman logo tattooed on his arm.
Oh god, I didn't even notice that.
And admittedly, he is quite small, but yeah, on the one on his shoulder, in the middle of it, about 3/4 of the way down, he's got the Superman logo in there. And it's all yellow, blue, and redded up as well.
Oh god.
And just more to the point, it's not actually doing anything to the character, and it's just sort of like, who cares?
Yeah.
Yeah, you beat a guy that was 200 pounds lighter than you.
I timed it at a minute 46.
Yeah, and didn't he win with an actually pretty weak move?
Yeah, it was the old Bulldog Slam.
Yeah, I mean he's used 4 or 5 different finishes since he's started doing these Crush matches, and it's just all like, what is his actual finishing maneuver?
I thought it was kind of like that
What the
flapjack thing that he did.
Yeah, I thought it was all like like you say, it was sort of like a reverse choke slam, weren't it?
Well, yeah, he's used the reverse choke slam. He's finished a couple of people with a big boot.
And he done like a running power slam or whatever once or twice as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, yeah, Braun won, woo. And then he just bitched on the microphone and said, Mick Foley, you've got one more chance. You've got to give me a proper competition next week.
Well, that will basically mean Sin Cara again.
Yeah. Or he could actually shock us. Not saying that he's necessarily going to pick up the victory, but I don't know. Maybe bring about the Big Show or Mark Henry for a match.
Could he do it to one of them? I'd be interested to see.
Well, Mark Henry's not up to much. The Olympics isn't going anymore.
He's running his own Olympics in his basement.
So yeah. And then moving on to the next part, it started off as just sort of like a throwing insults out there segment, but then it escalated into something else. We had Jericho in the ring. And don't you worry, people, Chris Jericho was added to the list.
Yeah, I like it. It actually does have the list of Jericho written on the back now.
Yeah.
Properly.
He's walking down to the ring. You're on the list. You're on the list. You're on the list.
God damn it.
So yeah, and then although they sort of tiny bit hinted about Jericho maybe challenge Kevin for the Universal Championship, Kevin put him off for the idea, and he's like, I think we should go for the tag team titles. We would then be the greatest team out there. So then, of course, inevitably, that brought out our tag team champions.
Yep, they weren't going to stand for this. They came out.
Right. And unfortunately, all of them were on the list. And unfortunately for Xavier Woods, he got put on the list twice.
Yeah.
I think, was it once for interrupting Jericho, and then the second time, I think Kevin Owens just turned around and just said he's stupid, put him on the list again.
See, this was just brilliant just for their reactions to being on the list.
Xavier was not happy about being
like,
on the list.
No, not again. No.
Oh, dear. Yeah, but in the end, this escalated into a match. But it would be, I believe, was it Big E and Xavier
Yeah.
facing off against Jericho and Kevin Owens. At the same time, I can't help but feel, what are they actually doing with regards to the Universal Championship? I mean,
It's a good question.
I suppose technically Seth's still challenging for it, but Mick and Stephanie are trying to keep him out of the way, and Jericho and Kevin Owens are teaming up and fighting the New Day and Enzo and Cass and just doing random stuff.
Yeah, the main event scene is a very confusing place right now.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said on a previous episode, if ever there was a case for someone to be inserted into the main event picture, now would be the time.
Yep. But unfortunately, it wasn't to be a good evening for Jericho. Chris Jericho had Xavier in the walls of Jericho. And then Seth Rollins come out for the distraction. Jericho got distracted, and then unfortunately someone got hit with the midnight hour.
Oh, the midnight hour. God damn it.
Oh, WWE and your wonderful tag team moves.
That is up there with the boot of doom. Why is it the boot of doom? Is the other one not the boot of doom?
I have no idea.
Are they both boots of doom? Oh, it's confusing.
Yeah, so the New Day ended up picking up the victory. And then backstage, Stephanie ran into Seth and started bitching and moaning, saying, "What the hell were you doing out there? You're not cleared to wrestle," and all this. And then Seth just basically threatened her and said, "Look, you do something about this or else."
Oh, yeah, and he put in that personal shot about the two worst things Triple H has done. Picking Kevin Owens as his golden boy and marrying you.
Yeah. And then, weirdly, Stephanie had like this little sadistic smile, and then the camera just went off. So,
Yeah.
Christ knows where that's going to go.
And at this point, I am still confused as to whether I'm supposed to cheer Seth or not. They haven't made it completely clear.
No, effectively, it's heel versus heel. And Kevin Owens is getting more of a crowd reaction than Seth is.
Yeah.
That's the other big problem we've got. Yeah, maybe they'll make it a bit more clearer in the coming weeks.
Oh, I hope so.
We can but hope. Pointless match number 1.
Oh, God, why?
We had Sami Zayn
Yes.
facing off against Titus O'Neil.
Yeah, who's now bringing in a new gimmick of it's the Titus O'Neil brand. And we don't know what the brand is.
It's almost as ridiculous as, let's make Darren Young great again.
Yeah, that worked.
Yeah. He's on main event and superstars already.
Well, what can we say about this match? It didn't last long. I timed it at probably 3 or 4 minutes.
It wasn't great.
There's not really much you can say about it. Titus O'Neil did his normal couple of power moves.
Yeah.
And then one thing I noticed, as Sammy went to do his exploder into the corner, Titus really did not want to be thrown into that corner. It looked like he was trying to sandbag him. because he wasn't lifted up easily.
No, he was not.
It was almost like a deadlift.
Yeah.
But no, threw him into the corner, haluva kick, 1, 2, 3, and yeah. And Sammy, who should be in the main event, is still wasted on these pointless matches.
Yep. And then, for some unknown reason, they've started doing this whole thing where Titus does a post-match interview
Oh, God.
after his matches, but yeah, well, that's all I'm going to say on it.
Well, I didn't see it. They must have cut that off of mine.
I was a usual .ie.com exclusive.
Good idea. I probably would have skipped it anyway.
Pointless match number 2. We had the former Doctors, Gallows and Anderson, facing off for some unknown reason. We don't know why, and we still don't get it. The Golden Truth.
Oh, they're still around.
Yep. And you still had the little Goldust head bopping up and down on the lyrics.
I think they cut them off though because they ended the lyrics before they had actually stopped singing.
Yeah, I picked up on that as well.
Probably an attempt to say, okay, that's enough. You've done enough. Cut it off.
Again, the match didn't last particularly long, and I think Goldust, he met the Magic Killer.
He did. I think it was R-Truth that took it first. Then Goldust came into the ring and was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, trying to help," and they beat him up too.
Yeah, and Gallows and Anderson pick up the victory.
But unfortunately, we did not see the Boot of Doom.
No, I don't know how this helps out Gallows and Anderson. It's hardly going to build them credibility for challenging for the tag titles again. Although, well, let's not even get started on that title picture, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, all the titles seem to be a bit confusing at the moment.
Yeah. And then we had the whole 10-minute segment with the Susan G. Komen survivors in the ring with Enzo and Cass, of all people.
Very strange decision. I mean, if you're promoting breast cancer awareness, why would you bring out two guys who are, well, in gimmick terms, certified G's? Look that up. I'm not going to explain what that means on air, but go and look it up.
So yeah, they basically had a few breast cancer survivors with them, made a little bit of a deal with them, gave them all replicas of the Women's Championship, and that was that.
Yeah.
And of course, it was on Raw, so it was the Raw Women's Championship.
Yeah.
We can't stress that enough.
Yeah, I mean, they've said it enough.
So yeah.
Okay, on to the next thing.
And then we had our second cruiserweight match. We had Tony Nese versus Rick Swann.
Wouldn't it have made more sense to have this match before the champion and whatnot? Oh, well, yeah, WWE logic for you.
So yeah, well they're trying to build up Tony Nese's sort of like the powerhouse character of the cruiserweight, but after him losing to TJ Perkins last week, that took quite a bit of a hit.
Yes.
So he was looking to turn things around against Rick Swann.
Yeah, I quite like this Rick Swann. He's a good athletic. Looks like he's got a good gimmick.
Yeah.
The crowd seem to be into him.
But the question is, can he handle this?
No way. A little NXT pop for you there.
Yep, if you don't know, in the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic, Swan and No Way Jose are teaming up together. I mean, who would have thought it? Two guys who like to dance, and they team them up together.
That's almost the same as teaming up two black guys.
Yeah. I think I'd possibly argue this match was probably better than the Perkins versus Kendrick match.
I think it was.
Yeah. Obviously, Tony Nese shown a bit more of his powerhouse ability. And Mr. Swan showing off what he does best at the same time. But Tony Nese ended up picking up the victory.
Yeah, it's good because after they finish this whole Kendrick and Perkins thing, they're going to need a new challenger for the title.
Yeah, I mean, there's certainly quite a few names out there who could challenge him for it, and you could argue the Bloody Point should be beating him, but yeah. So you win a Tony Nese.
Ooh, go Tony!
Although I have slightly noticed, I mean, obviously there is slight differences, but his actual physical appearance and whatnot reminds me an awful lot of someone who was in the company not too long ago.
Uh-oh.
A certain Mr. Sandow.
Oh, no.
He's even got the bloom slicked back long hair. And a nice old bushy beard to go with it as well.
Oh, that's Aaron Rex you're talking about. Excellent rebrand in TNA.
Jesus Christ.
You can tell it's getting better.
Pointless match number 3.
Oh my god. 3 in 1
We
shot.
had very awful, incredibly awful, I can't believe they're even doing it, put together tag team of Cesaro and Sheamus.
Yeah. There was a segment beforehand with them getting out of car and then changing in the locker room, arguing with each other.
And then they were arguing about who was in front of the other person walking to the Titantron.
I mean, I still don't understand what the purpose of teaming them up is. It's not going to be another Team Hell No.
No. And it's not doing either wrestler any good either.
I think they need to quickly salvage this and have one turn on the other. And quickly move them both back into singles title action. Hell, put Cesaro in the main event for God's sake.
Yeah. So they were facing off against 2 jobbers. I believe it was Sheamus picked up the victory, but Cesaro came in and made the save to make sure that they picked up the victory. Then they spent the whole time afterwards arguing.
Yeah, they did that whole thing where they both went up to turnbuckles. Sheamus went up, got booed. Cesaro went up, got cheered. And that went back and forth.
Yeah. And still, nobody cares.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then you had a moment backstage where Charlotte and Dana were insulting Bailey, and saying about how Sasha's got no chance of winning, blah, 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 blah. Then Charlotte wandered off, and then Dana started bitching and moaning and doing a whole downgrading patting on the head of Bailey. Then Bailey decided to chuck her into a huge black box, and somehow she injured her knee.
Yeah. I mean, isn't she supposed to be some, fitness competitor?
Well, she used to do bodybuilding.
So how are you being injured by a very not muscular Bailey
Yeah.
throwing you into a box?
Yeah.
It wasn't even that hard of a throw either.
No, it really wasn't.
But whatever, storyline purposes,
Yep.
Dana's out of the match and it's normal one-on-one.
Yeah. And it was also our main event.
Yeah, I think this is the first time the women have main evented a Raw since, Trish and Lita.
Yeah, I'd very much go along with that as well. I can't remember any other female matches headlining it. So yeah, women's title match. Sasha versus Charlotte. This was one of the better parts of Raw.
Yeah, I mean, it was good to see a normal, decent match that made sense. Had a story behind it.
Yeah, we didn't have any stupid outside interference, so it was a chance for the women to just show off what they can do.
Yeah.
And you should all bloody well know what they can do. Go back and watch any of their NXT matches. Unbelievable stuff.
True. I mean, they used a lot of NXT footage in the build-up.
Yeah, just a tad. And then, we even had some high-flying moves. I mean, Charlotte done that corkscrew moonsault to the outside of the ring.
Yeah, didn't see that coming. Ric Flair could never do that.
Rick didn't exactly have any form of luck going up onto the top rope.
No, he did.
9.5 at the times out of 10. It was just so he could get chucked off of it.
Yeah. Which was in every match for about, well, probably about 2 decades. It became a running joke every time he went up. Like King would go, "No, Rick, don't go up."
Yeah. So yeah, and then we had and as the match got towards the end, Sasha hit the bank statement, and then put her into the submission move.
Yeah, and they did a little callback to the SummerSlam match with Charlotte trying to roll her into the pin, but this time it didn't work.
Like, Sasha rolled out of it and kept the submission hold on, and Charlotte tapped.
Yes. Which does lead us to beg the question, what was the point of giving Charlotte the title back?
Yeah.
So quickly.
What was the point of the last 6 weeks or so?
It's just, it just makes no sense.
No, but at the same time, I think we're happy that Sasha is back on top.
Yeah. And hopefully they start telling a few more better stories.
Yeah. The only thing I'd possibly argue is, obviously, going by us watching her in NXT and that and coming through, I prefer Sasha more as a heel than a face.
Me too.
Yeah.
And she just works better as a heel.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the only way that would work would be if they would have a better face to get cheered for.
Yeah.
Do you reckon they might do Bayley again?
I think it's a little bit too soon for Bayley, personally. Unfortunately, you've got the issues of who else is there.
Exactly.
I mean, I don't know. Again, you could make the argument it's a little bit too early, but I don't know. Maybe as a one-off for a month. I don't know. Maybe do Dana versus Sasha.
I don't know. I think for me personally, I'd probably put Nia Jax against Sasha. And you can tell a bit of the underdog versus the big monster story.
Yeah, but then in doing that, would they kill some of the credibility and the legitimacy of how big a challenge Nia Jax would be for the title in the future?
Yeah, it's a confusion situation.
Yeah. I think that's about it for Raw.
Yeah, that wraps things up. So, from your hosts, the Master of the Brain Damage,
I've been Martin.
and the one and only Sam H, we will see you again for the next one. Peace out.